Skip, it was a 10 for me because I knew this team would struggle with the elements. I know this team. And so when you're going into the fourth quarter, and this is a Kyle Shanahan coach team who has never won when down 7 points or more going into the fourth quarter, literally 0-30, then I'm a little stressed. Brock Purdy goes out there and he's struggling all game with the wet football. You can see him wiping his hands. The defense has made some stops, but it's a concern. You're trying to figure out where the points are going to come from. Deebo Samuel is hurt. He's out of the game. And you're starting to see this offense kind of stumble. And then, of course, the last drive of the game, when they have to have it, Brock Purdy makes all the plays he needs to make. He does everything that he needs to do. Key third down passes. And then, of course, the drive is capped by Christian McCaffrey and his 5-yard touchdown run, and they win the game. But it showed a lot of resilience. And to get somewhere you've never been, Skip, you got to be able to do something. You got to be willing to do something you've never done. And they had never come back and won a game under Kyle Shanahan, went down 7 points, and they were able to do that, Skip. So it showed me a lot of fight, a lot of grit, a lot of perseverance. And I love to see it. And I love to see it coming from Brock Purdy, the guy who, was it Amy Trask that said he was the only quarterback, the worst quarterback in the playoffs, but now he's one of the four left. I just keep hearing the hate. I keep hearing the nonsense, and I keep hearing the praise for other quarterbacks. Then I watch the other quarterbacks not play well, and then I keep hearing the hate for Brock Purdy, but the praise for other guys. I heard you praise Josh Allen and how well he played. He had under 200 yards passing. He had 72 rushing yards, not a pass over 20 yards in the game, but he played well. And I'm going to hear you criticize Brock Purdy and his performance he played better, when he played better than Josh Allen. And guess what, Skip? Guess what? His team won the game. That's the difference between.
You've got your pom-poms out.
I just got my truth tellers out, Skip, because I'm tired of the BS. So I'm ready to skip the BS of sorts.
Let's skip the BS. Go, Key.
Y'all are hilarious to me right now. First of all, Skip, you lead in by saying a comeback. Oh, a comeback. Was it really, truly a comeback?
Yes.
I mean, in the end, they start the fourth quarter by 7 points. They kick a field goal, so it's really 4. If you really want to call it a comeback, you can, Richard. I'm not hating. I'm just saying a comeback is double-digit deficit. That's not everybody. When we all start talking about the San Francisco 49ers being able to come from behind, we're not talking about a 4-point come-from-behind situation. We're talking about double-digit deficits. When everybody out there in the world is talking about the 49ers can't come from behind, they haven't been able to come from behind. They haven't shown us they can come from behind. We're not talking about 4 points. I understand in the grand scheme of things, it's less than what their opponent had, so it means that they scored, they caught up, they passed them. I'm talking about 10 points, 12. But that's okay. A win is a win is a win, no matter how you get it. But what I would say is you're dealing with a young team in the Green Bay Packers. So on the scale of 1 to 10, how impressive was it? It's really, to me, it just wasn't all that impressive. It just really wasn't because the way that it unfolded, if you kick that field goal, if he kicks that field goal and he makes it, that's 7 points that they're now up opposed to 4. You're calling the game different if you're Kyle Shanahan. Now you become aggressive, I got to win, opposed to all I want to do is at least tie to force an overtime situation possibly. Hey, I tip my hat off to everybody in San Francisco. Brock Purdy played a solid football game, although his longest pass went for about 32 or so yards. It wasn't like he was just out there slicing and dicing and killing. He won the game. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. He tried on multiple occasions to give the ball to the other team. They came up short. They didn't catch it. That's not his fault. He tried to. So now when you look at everything and you fast forward to the Detroit situation, what is that going to look like? Okay, Detroit has a book on the San Francisco 49ers based on the way the Green Bay Packers played them down to the wire. Okay, they got some receivers over there, just like Green Bay had young Romeo Doubs that they was trying to continuously connect with. Now you got to deal with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then Jameis Williamson. You got to deal with him. Then on top of that, you got a dog at the running back position. So now you got a little bit of a different offense. You seen what Aaron Jones was able to do to him. Imagine what Gibbs may try to do to him. You know, going into this game, they're going to try to play physical. They're going to play action pass it. And Jared Goff, out of everybody on this particular football team, although he has had little success, he kind of understands what it's like to play against the San Francisco 49ers.
Understand.
I think that goes a long way inside this locker room as they move forward.
Has only lost to the San Francisco 49ers. That's all he's ever done.
I understand, but when you play somebody and you have an understanding of how they're going to play you, hopefully you turn things around when you go see them. I like San Francisco. I think they're a dog of a team, but I'm not going to be shocked if Detroit goes in there and puts them on the ropes. I'm not going to be shocked at all, just like I wasn't shocked about Green Bay getting them on the ropes.
I would be very shocked.
I think I would be too, actually. So, Mr. Sherman, back to you, sir. I wish I'd been sitting with you early in Saturday night's game to be able to watch the looks on your face, because it felt early on like Green Bay was going to do a Dallas on San Francisco, as in just run them right out of their own building. As in, would you believe that no team over the last 20 years worth of playoff games in its first 3 drives have gone all the way down inside the red zone and not scored a touchdown?
Right.
Okay. But they got there.
That's the difference. That's the difference between Dallas and San Francisco.
All right. I will give you that.
You don't have to.
But it looked like Green Bay was poised to do a number on San Francisco, and I'm going to show you a couple of quick plays here.
Please.
On that first drive, it gets down to a 3rd and 8 from the 11, and I thought Jordan Love threw a very good ball to Romeo Doubs.
They ran a predictable double post that they scored on Dallas with. They scored on Dallas with 13.
He dropped the one Brock Purdy threw him, and he didn't take it home, and you dodged a big old bullet right there.
Didn't dodge anything, Skip.
No, you dodged. No.
Well,
I'm with Skip, though. You dodged that one, Richard.
You can say whatever
Richard,
you want.
dodged it, man.
You can
Come
say
on
whatever
now.
you want. This isn't horseshoes. This isn't horseshoes, Skip and Key. I don't give a dang what y'all talking about. You're talking about.
You gotta care what we talking about at some
all
point.
you're talking about is what ifs. Tell me what happened.
No.
Because the difference between y'all and me is the team that needed to make the plays made the plays. So I don't have to talk about the what ifs. I can talk about the what is. I don't have to talk about what ifs. I don't have to be if Bayless. I can tell you what is. And what is the San Francisco 49ers for the 3rd consecutive year are in the NFC Championship. So y'all telling me about, well, if this would have happened, well, I mean, you're talking about weak points. Did he catch the ball? Did he catch the ball, Key? No, he didn't.
Does that not allow Detroit to understand?
That doesn't allow Detroit to do anything.
It doesn't?
Not at all. There's 2 different teams. So you're about to tell me a quarterback who's, I think, 1-7 against the San Francisco 49ers in his career. Just give me, because this is not a what if. I'm not giving you what ifs. I'm gonna give you what is. He's 1-7, and he hasn't played well. So you talk about having the book on somebody? You said they got the book on him like San Francisco 49ers don't have the book on Jared Goff, like they haven't played him.
I'm talking about Brock Purdy in the defense. I'm talking about the defense run by Aaron Glenn, who give you an opportunity to see the mistakes that the 49ers could present to themselves, and you have to take advantage of it.
Hey, Aaron Glenn, bring rain. Make sure you bring rain. You bring those kind of conditions of wet football, because that's the only way you're going to stop Brock Purdy in this offense. If the conditions stand for it, because if they have great conditions, this isn't going to be a super close game. This will be a 7-point ball game, at least for the 49ers winning this game. They are the better team. They are better on every level. This defense hasn't stopped people consistently. They stopped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were a fringe playoff team majority of the year, and they barely beat them. So let's not get crazy here. Baker threw for 349 and 3 touchdowns. So you're about to sit here and tell me that Aaron Glenn coach defense is they're gonna do what? They gave up 400 yards of offense.
All I'm telling you is that they gathered the information based on the footage. If they could somehow capitalize on those mistakes that the 49ers presented and they cash in on them, it's a different game. This is what Skip is saying, man. You got to listen sometimes.
I'm listening to people. Just because I'm listening doesn't mean you're making great points. So I'm about to listen to you tell me a defense that just gave up 400 yards of offense is going to turn around and play well.
I got one for you.
Please.
These aren't ifs, ands, or buts. Just to remind you, we're going to hit this head on a little later in the show. On Christmas night, I watched Brock Purdy on that same field against a real live football team, that behemoth from the East, throw 4 interceptions. So
Gotcha.
I think those were in statistics.
Skip,
I think they, okay.
Is that who they're playing this week?
Okay.
Because Skip, you're sitting there talking about
down the road. They're sitting there. They're waiting.
Who's in the NFC Championship game, Skip? Who's in it? Just tell me, because I want to hear the team. They are, right? Is this the first time they've been there, Skip, or have they been there for the last 5 years, Skip? Because I want to, because you may not want to speak on this, Skip, because you don't have the experience. Your team's never in it. Your team's never in the NFC Championship. They haven't been in 3 decades. They're one of 2 teams that haven't been in the NFC Championship since they realigned the divisions.
Why
since
are we talking about the Cowboys,
because I want Skip to understand you don't have a place at this table, Skip, at this table to talk about this, because your team's never in this. They're never in it. They're never in it, Skip. They're never in it.
You can't just ignore history, because history has happened. The first 30 Super Bowls that were played, 16 times we were in the NFC Championship game. The Dallas Cowboys.
And they haven't
we were there
been
without Jerry Jones.
in recent memory. So, Skip, you stay in history. You be a historian, Skip. I'm going to be
you say I don't deserve a seat at the table. Those counted. Wait, Richard,
Skip,
did the first 30 Super Bowls not count?
They haven't been in the internet age, Skip, so that's enough. I'm talking about a team that's scored just 3 consecutive and is in it right now. Let's talk about that team.
Okay. All right, that team that survived. Okay, we got to do a couple more quick plays. So now Green Bay drives again, and it looks like you're in trouble again, and it gets down to 4th and whatever, a foot. And I thought Jordan Love made it on the 4th down play.
I actually did, too. 100% I thought he did.
I thought he got the football across the line.
It looked like, based on this angle, that helmet and ball,
he's passed.
You don't even see where the ball is.
The referee's foot, man.
You don't even see where the ball is. So you said the helmet and ball, where's the ball? Where's the ball?
Man, if it's hell, I would assume that the ball is...
You would assume, but you can't see it.
No, I can't.
Exactly.
But it looks as though, based on where that referee on the other side is at, standing, that he crossed it. Richard, he didn't get it. I'm not saying the referees helped San Francisco or anything. He didn't get it. It just looked like to me and Skip that he got it initially.
I got you.
He got it. It changes the game at that point. It's a 7-point swing.
It's a turnover on downs.
All right. And then finally, here we go again with another kicker missing another kick. Except this kid kicker, this rookie kicker, Gutekunst made a great call on Jordan Love. He's made a lot of great picks, stocking their defense, stocking their receiver room with nothing but young talent that's only going to get better. Except for the kicker.
We're talking about 2 missed kicks. They missed a kick. San Francisco missed a kick. Irrelevant. Negated.
How so? How could it be?
Because they both just missed a kick.
If he makes this kick, Richard, they go up by 7. The game is being called differently. It's being called differently.
That would make sense if San Francisco didn't drive for a touchdown, Keyshawn. They drove for a touchdown. They didn't drive for a field goal.
They did.
Like, they drove for a touchdown.
They had to drive for a touchdown to win it. A field goal wasn't going to help them.
So, again, they drove for a touchdown. So what
because
they have a touchdown either way. What are you talking about?
You're going to call the game differently.
They needed a touchdown either way.
You're going to call the game differently, man.
Pressure is different.
That's idiotic. That's idiotic. You literally just said they would call it different because they needed a touchdown.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Because
I'm just telling you they're going to call it different.
What are they calling different if they needed a touchdown? Oh, they needed a touchdown, so they're going to call it different.
Because the pressure is different, Richard.
They needed a touchdown either way.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you.
Richard.
I'm not going to argue with you, man.
They needed a touchdown.
Richard. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.